I don't know what I'm gonna say yet, but I'll be ready when the time comes.
I didn't go to this room, so we did. I've never been in this room.
No?
We had, the Black Caucus, Rhonda, it was in 2024. Oh my God, 2024. You remember that?
What happened?
In this room, we had all the candidates, so we're doing our endorsements.
Oh, yeah, that's
We're
where
all-
everybody was running for everything.
We're all in there. Woo.
Unlike 13 people running for
For the one thing.
for the one thing.
It's so small, isn't it?
It's the same room.
This is.
Yeah. It's automatic. We did. Yeah, it's automatic. Yeah, we couldn't get that one, but they had, it's fine about you can't hear on me. A little
Hey,
nervous.
good to see you. Okay, yes, sir.
We got a little bit of stuff here, we got water and we have cookies. I gotta figure out, All the things that I need to get.
Right.
Hear his voice. Yeah. So,
Is she supportive?
but she did about.
It's about it.
Yeah.
It won't.
Oh, that's so bad, man. Look at that. It's still back in the store.
Yeah, we're up together, huh? We're up together. Oh, we live, are we live? Yes.
Yeah, live.
Are you, school boy break?
Got to.
Yes, we got to. Yeah. Okay. I need to come to school sometimes. Thank you for all right. Yeah. I'm getting.
All over the place, don't I am not. Look back, I'm about to go.
It's walk up to the campus.
Oh, I get it. You get it?
But you can face that way. I just wanted the camera to lock it. That way.
Oh,
It'll stay.
that's awesome. I like to take a look.
Right.
Is this yours?
So I'm trying to get it in the side, don't take that. All right.
Is there anyone online?
Yes. Yes.
It's probably the last time we're gonna see it. Yeah.
My niece, the curious.
Makes it a little odd, but the camera is this way.
No, you can face whichever one. It's.
You want to sit on this side?
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
You
I mean, it's
just
just the
addressing
people
the.
online.
You addressing both.
Yes.
They see.
I'm going off cheap.
Yeah, you look fine on there, that's fine. All right, so you can unmute. You don't mute. Good evening, voters. Good to see you, Democrats. I'm Angela Birdsong, your president for the Hillsborough County Democratic Black Caucus, and we are so glad you made time to join us today. Well, I wish I could say there's good news, but you know, all across the United States, it's trying to erase black people right now. What can I say? Please pray for Texas, because you know, when your president calls up and says, can you find me 5 seats? That means that they decided to erase some black seats. So Jasmine Crockett, her seat is on the line. And Al Green, some of our great elected officials are really feeling the heat right now, so I'm sorry to say that. In the state of Florida, it's not much better usually. And we have a new law now where you can open carry your gun. Just what we need. We just had an assassination this week, so I don't think what we need is more guns, especially where you can see them. But we did have some good news. We had an election this week. And I am so happy to say that that seat is going to remain black and green. Yes, thanks for some great candidates that stepped forward, and the people saw that, hey, these are the people that have been in the community, have been doing the work, and now we now have a runoff, and one of our runoff candidates is here. It's Naya Young. You always let candidates speak, so get ready to have a word. And we do thank all of the Democratic candidates that stepped up. You all may know that I really worked hard to keep those Republicans at bay, because we did not want that seat to go to Republicans. That was my biggest fear. And so I'm overjoyed. I'm doing a happy dance right now. The people that are left are both Democrats. And get a round of applause for that. They come after the school board every election. So we know next time the hate group Moms for Liberty is going to try to get back on the school board. And I can just call them a hate group. The Southern Poverty Law Center has labeled them a hate group because they hate black people. They don't want any diversity. They don't want any equity. They don't want any inclusion. They don't want any black history in the schools. Why would that be? Because maybe dumb people who don't understand the history are doomed to repeat it. And I feel like they are taking us back to before the civil rights movement. I don't understand why black people want to be Republicans, but maybe I'm the one that's first. I don't know. We're gonna have some events coming up, so anyone who wants to do events and wants to help run a table, please let me know. Because Kojic is going to be having an event I believe at the end of this month. They're going to have their event, their outdoor event. So I need people who want to volunteer. We have some ladies here from Magnify Voices who've been out in the community. They've been knocking doors. Stand up. We want to give you a round of applause. And you know what? They just took it upon themselves something, and I'm just so proud of them that they did. And they're veterans, and they're very organized. So if phone banking is something you want to do, we have our phone bank every 3rd Saturday. And a lovely lady named Denise Donaldson is opening her school to us on Orient Road. So you can put a reoccurring event on your schedule that every 3rd Saturday from 10 to 1, we're gonna be calling Black voters. And then if you feel like doing some canvassing, I can hook you up with these ladies, because I know they're not gonna stop their work, right?
We're not.
No, and we are still in an election. We have a runoff going on. So in October, we're gonna have another election. We get to do it all over again. So we're gonna need to let people know that the governor of Florida has canceled all of the vote by mail ballot requests. So if you do not request your ballot, it's not coming. Believe it or not, a lot of people still do not know this. We need precinct captains. Lois, stand up. The Democratic Party, and she can tell you how to be a precinct captain. All that means is you're going to talk to Democrats only in your neighborhood and get them to have the information that they need in order to vote, and to vote with and the education they need to vote well. Okay, because we believe that with Black people, especially if you tell them how to vote, where to vote, they're going to do the right thing. We just need to get them to the polls. That's all. and they're gonna vote the right way. We also have here the president of the Hillsborough County Democratic Party, Ms. Vanessa Lester. Vanessa, when are your meetings?
We have 2 meetings a month. We have our steering committee meeting on the second Monday of every month. And normally we have our business meeting, except this month on the third Monday of every month. We're doing something a little different because we have an election coming up. But what we also want to do from a Hillsborough County Democratic Executive Committee perspective is we want to do more community facing events. We want to do some listening tours, some service type of events. We want to be around the county, out in person and in person, so people recognize us. So thank you very much. I answered that question and gave you some additional information.
That is your invitation to be at the Democratic Party meetings at Hillsborough County. We encourage you to also go to your Democratic Party meetings. Okay, that's always your third Monday at 6 o'clock. And also, we're selling tickets for the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Democratic Party in Hillsborough County. It's called the Kennedy King Dinner. And we can send you a link. You can get your ticket. It's $150. That's on the 18th day of October at the Hilton downtown. So you can get all dressed up with your gown and looking pretty and all that. And we know you have some friends who want to come out to the Hilton, okay, and look nice. And of course, we want all of our candidates to be there. Oh. In the city, would you like to tell us who the speakers are?
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it, but Madam Chair, of the party here, got some great
There's another celebrity here. This is our past state president, Vivian Hudson. And she's moved up in the world. She's now on the national level. What's your official title, Madam
I am a DNC member.
She's a DNC elected member. Yay.
But our committee here in Hillsborough County Democratic Party, we're fortunate enough to get State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta out of Pennsylvania, but he is also the elected vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. Young man, he's dynamic, you're gonna love him. And then also they have another speaker who is former governor of Maryland, Governor O'Malley, and he was also the previous administrative director for Social Security. So.
Yeah, so if you want to know what's up with Social Security, so you or your loved ones, he's the man to listen to. He knows the whole inner workings and unfortunately what Doge has done. Just for.
And the good part about that is we got a little something for everybody. So we're gonna be diverse in this event at the Kennedy King. So please come out and support. You should have a good time.
If you need a link, let me know, because I'm gonna, as a matter of fact, if you're a member of the Hillsborough County Democratic Black Caucus, all those things are in your email. That's how we communicate. If you don't sign up, if you don't become a member, I want to let you know it's hard for us to communicate with you. In our meeting, we have our officers. Our first vice, please stand up. James Cole. We have Vice President Rhonda Phillips. We are in need of a secretary. We are in need of a second vice. If you feel led to leadership, please let me. Please let us know. Okay, so that's some other things might come up along the way, but I don't want to hold up our illustrious speaker any longer than I have to. We have in the room with us City Councilwoman, Commissioner, County Commissioner Gwen Myers. I've been saying City Council so many times. Okay, that was a slip. But she's also running for re-election, I believe. Yes, she is. Okay. And how many, you have served a term and a half or two terms?
2 terms. My last one is November next year. That's when re-election is up.
Okay, all right. So she is also looking for your vote. And she's gonna tell us all the things that are happening down at the county commission. And unfortunately, we did lose that commission. And we're in the minority, but so we really appreciate our members that are there holding down the fort and trying to do good things for the community because Gwen Myers is always looking out for her community. She's a voice for us. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. It's, go ahead. Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone, and happy Thursday. Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity to be invited to come. Just want to share with you, I'm County Commissioner Gwen Myers, representing District 3 and also serving as chaplain for the Board of County Commission. Well, I won't go there, but anyway, I do want to address a couple of things that Madam Chair had said, Angela, because when I was sitting there, it reminded me so much of when I was campaigning and you were saying how folks were going to knock on doors. Well, when I was a candidate, I didn't knock on the first door. Too afraid. You know, people have dogs and all this good stuff. But I picked up the Florida Sentinel, and wherever there was an event or whatever was posted on Facebook, I showed up. But knocking on someone's door, that is not me. And every candidate that I have met with, they laugh because I tell them that, they go, well, I'm gonna start knocking on doors. I said, well, let me tell you, they're not knocking me. But it's okay if you wanna knock on doors, I'm not knocking it. I just know what I'm gonna say out. No, you did, no, no.
But we're not business.
But I talked about it for 7 years, that I was gonna see the seat.
And we're not.
Oh, maybe you ought to. I don't like it, but that's just not me. But I do want to share a few things with you regarding Hillsborough County government. And as Madam Chairman has said, now we're in the minority. But one of the key things is that you have to know how to talk to our Republicans. It is important. Democrats cannot get it done. Republicans cannot get it done. We must work together. And that is real important when you're elected and you're sitting at the table. Is you have to look at what you truly want to fight for, what is best for your district, and those are the items that you're going to push for your district. Okay, regardless of what the odds look like, you have to go in and be respectful. You want respect, and you have to give respect. You know, it's not about, well, the party's this or that. No, when you're there, you're sitting making that decision. You have to make the best decision for your district. And not be afraid to open your mouth and represent your district, regardless of what district it is. You cannot sit there today and act like you cannot be heard. Even when constituents that are not in your district come to you, you still have to be the voice. Am I right, Todd?
That's right.
You have to be the voice. You cannot be afraid to deal with issues, because that's what people elected us to do. Be accountable and deal with issues. And they're all issues that we have to deal with when we are sitting there. From the time we get the agenda item to no agenda item, every day there are issues. And I tell everyone, it's just an issue. Don't make it a personal issue. It's just an issue. They start at 8:30. By the time 6 o'clock or 7, you have 10 more issues. It's just an issue. I mean, for me, as an elected official, that's how I look at it. That's how I see it. It's an issue. Can I resolve the issue? Yes. Some I cannot. But there are issues. I just don't make it a personal issue. Even when I disagree. Even when I disagree in the boardroom, I still walk out and say, how to get there. Okay. Because it's just an issue. We just didn't see it the same. That's all. But when we begin to make it personal, then it begins to tune you away from the mission that you elected to do. And that's to serve the people of Hillsborough County. That's why I said it's about service, and I ran on the theme, it's about the people. So that's who I keep focused on, is the people. But I do want to just talk with you for a few minutes about several things that's going on in Hillsborough County. And one is the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery, known as CDBG-DR. Hillsborough County government will receive $709 million. And we've gotten, now you should clap because you don't have to clap. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And those dollars gonna be used in local income areas of the county. The city of Tampa will receive a portion, Tampa Terrace and Plant City, because they all are part of the county. But those dollars are only for low to moderate income. So when we talk about how those dollars gonna be spent in all, I have to make sure as an elected official, the minorities receive a portion of these dollars. That's one of the things I fight for at every opportunity when it comes up. And so we know when we talk about these funds, I'm just gonna call a few areas. We have Harvard's Village, right, it's called areas in my district. Orient Park, Grant Park, the USF area, Winston Park, Claremont, Maryland, just to name a few. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in those areas. Take for instance, today, Progress Village. We've already invested right now $10 million project in Progress Village for flooding. When that neighborhood was built, there was no drainage. You know, African American people, we moved out there and it just flood. Well, we're doing something about it. When I came on board, I remember as a former employee going out there in a little boat. It was so flooded. You know, it was bad. And now we're making some improvements, but with the CDBG-DR funds, we'll be able to do a lot more with that flooding and Progress Village. And the folks, they're upset because when we build in our infrastructure, we building all around in new neighborhoods. You'll see housing going up in infield lots where no one wanted to purchase a lot, and now the white people are coming in and purchasing a lot and we getting mad. And I tell folks, don't get mad because you own the lot. You could have kept it. Just like mom and dad's house, they left it for you. You don't want to fix it up, but then now you're upset. You sold it for a little or nothing. The white man come in, they purchase a house, hey, $350,000. And you're like, what? I can't believe it. Sometimes we just have to hold on to what we have and just invest in what we already have. As I tell people, the largest thing that you can own today is a house. That's the largest asset. It's not your car. But if you own a house, you have something that you can really go in and take some leverage. And a lot of us don't understand that. So we get mad and we hear that we can't build affordable housing and not enough housing. Well, let me lay that to rest. Because as a commissioner, I said every 2 weeks on our agenda, what we are doing in affordable housing. I chair the county's affordable housing board. I know what's going on. I know what we're doing. But yet we hear this. We're not building enough. But we're building. Single, multifamily, in all in Hillsborough County. And we're looking for people to come in and want to purchase housing. Same with zoning, rezoning, so that we can build more multifamily housing for people. So it's not a shortage in Hillsborough County. We talk about it, but we are doing something about it.
What's the average house?
Oh, I don't know.
Where are they building at? The affordable housing, where is it?
Well, you can call 272-5900 and ask for our affordable housing department. They can tell you. I just go and attend the ribbon cutting and the groundbreaking.
Because maybe people
I'm
don't
just
know
gonna be
about it, they're
upfront.
not hearing about it, so they talk about it because they're not being affected by it, they haven't heard about it. So I'm wondering how do they find out about it?
And my sister's a
Because
realtor, and that's
they
why I
are
asked
talking,
that question
talking,
because.
Well, you can call the county.
Okay.
I mean, information that's on our website, is on our agenda, is what the board approved every 2 weeks.
Well, is there
So there's
another,
no getting
right, but is there
information.
another avenue for people to get that information?
Especially
So-
low income people,
Right.
that are not necessarily gonna be going to the county or going.
Well, if you're in District
Reaching
Three,
the people where
I
they
have a
are.
newsletter, and if you sign up for my newsletter, a lot of the information is in my newsletter. Okay? And I
I'm
hope
just asking,
town
because
hall
I
meeting-
don't need it, I'm not, but I'm
No,
trying
but
to
I-
ask
I'm
for the
saying-
people, for the people in the community, yeah, I'm not low income, but I
No,
just talk to people and try to help them I try to navigate, because, you know, most of the time they don't know where to go or what to do, and I don't know as much, so I'm gonna look it up,
Yeah, just call Hillsborough County, that's our main line,
because that's why they talk about it, because they don't know about it.
What was that number, 72?
813-272-5900, that's their operations line coming in.
And the thing that I'm hearing, I don't hear so much that we don't have housing.
Mhm.
I hear that we don't have housing that the people in the community can afford.
No, that's everywhere.
And see, that's the biggest issue.
And we don't have any control over the landlord. They think we do, but we don't. Okay, we don't.
So that's the issue that what I'm hearing most is that they're being priced out of their communities.
Well, yeah, that is the question.
Well, most houses today going about $350,000. I mean, you can, get ready to be groundbreaking, I think next week or week after. The CDC at camp, I think they're, building, I think 10 or 12 units going forward. So you can go to, that's one of the places they can go to.
I'm familiar with the seats.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So when we talk about, so I want to get back to the CDBG DR. Because the way the funding is going to be used, we're going to have 70% of these funds for housing. 70% is going to be used for infrastructure. And 70% is going to be used for economic revitalization. And so as the team is coming together now, that they're working on an RFP to come out to hit the streets. I don't think we're in the cone of silence yet, which means when that happens, I cannot talk about it. Or anyone cannot approach me about it as a commissioner, because I'm gonna be voting on the funding.
Did you
So who would-
Stephanie say-
Yeah.
Yes,
So there was a set.
yeah,
What was the
because
percentage?
it's a total of $709 million.
Uh-huh.
And so what they're saying, estimated to low and moderate income in those areas of the 70% for each one. I know it sounds, okay, let me read it off. So we say, but we're talking about low to moderate income, okay? And so it's all gonna equal 100% of the $709 million.
Okay.
So this is how staff broke down. So I'm not gonna talk about administration, but for housing, it's $370,873,393,000. Okay? But when we look at what's going to equal, that is 70%, everything is 70% of what, because only 70% of those funds can be used in those areas,
Okay,
okay?
All right,
Only those
so you're
areas.
talking about based on that line item,
Yeah.
dollar amount, you're gonna do 70%. Okay.
On the line. Okay, let me go back to. We talk about infrastructure. Okay, we're talking about 95,267,000.
And 70% of that will be.
Yeah, okay, so in each category, okay, remember I gave us the three categories, I'm sorry, but I guess we forgot. The three categories, only three that we're looking at. And so then we have 99,822,376 for economic revitalization. And it's a lot of that is needed in District 3. A lot of it is needed in District 3. And so we want to thank HUD for providing us, because when we heard this amount of money coming to the county, all 7 commissioners plus the county administrator and staff, we cannot believe it, of this type of award. This is probably one of the largest awards Pittsburgh County government has received. And we know with the CDBG, it has been around, let's see, I would say almost 40 years. Because when I joined the county in 1988, it the hottest program out there. And I retired in 2013, and it's still the hottest program with HUD. It's the Community Development Block. That you see a lot of the dollars goes to CDBG, because it is one that, believe it or not, President Trump has not touched.
Wow.
It's like the grandfather, what I would call, of all programs, of all federal programs. This is the best one out there. That really, that you can see an improvement in the community. City of Tampa receives their own allocation. Hillsborough County, we receive our allocation, not just this is totally separate, but each year we receive an allocation that we share with City of Tampa in City of Temple Terrace. Okay, we enter into an interlocal agreement with them. And so, any questions?
What are the careers you said economic development, affordable housing?
And infrastructure. Yes. And so we have a lot of infrastructure to do in District 3.
I do have one question for you. With the housing opportunities that's created through this grant, because some people have to leave the city of Tampa to find housing that may be more affordable outside of the city of Tampa. Is there anything in that breakdown of money that talks about transportation for people to get back into the city or back into places where they work?
No. If they were living in public housing, one of the things public housing is State Tampa Housing Authority. If you were living in public housing, you want to go back to where you're building a new structure now, you have the first right to move back. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think next week they're getting ready to demo Robles Park. Any other questions? That's a part of the history, but it's time for it to go. It's been around. My mother just turned 100 years old, and she used to live in Robles Park. I'm going to show you, you know. Yeah, 100. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, because my office, we receive a lot of calls in regard to nonprofit. How in the county, we put together a policy of reducing, if you're receiving a reoccurring funds from the county, we now, it's going to roll it into a 4 year, so by 2030 and 2029, if you're a nonprofit now and receiving reoccurring funds, you're going to have to apply for a new process. Don't know what the process is. Don't ask me any questions on it. We have not rolled out anything. We're still receiving and tweaking to the policy we just put in place. I tried to get the board to consider making it effective going into next year so that nonprofits would have the opportunity to adjust their budget this year. It wouldn't be so impactful on them this year. But of course, with a 5-2 vote, they wanted to do it this year. You know, so sometimes when you're trying to look across party lines, you have to sit and listen, and it's what is so important as an elected official. Sitting at the desk, you can know how to vote. If you can count votes, you can tell what's going to pass and what's not. So you don't have to waste a lot of time trying to convince them that it's going to change. It's not. And that was one of the things when we talked about the nonprofit. First time we was blindsided about it. This time it was, we need to do this now. And so we didn't give everyone a fair chance, an opportunity to find that 15 to 20% we had taken off as of October 1 of this year. And trust me, they all called us, but it didn't change anything. Not with the Republicans. We heard them, Commissioner Coleman, and now with the 2 Democrats, but it didn't change anything. And for some, you know, they're wondering if they're going to survive 4 years from now. And as I told one today, just hang in there. We don't know what the new process is going to be, but you have the opportunity to apply for the funding. Okay? But you have to do good work. County don't run you down trying to give you money. We don't do that. Some people think that's how it's supposed to work, but it doesn't. So any questions on the nonprofit?
You said that it will be decreasing 15%.
15 to 20, yes.
And then after that, it will be RFP process, or you don't know the process is, but
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be an RFP process. Yeah, because we're still funding items from commissioner who was on the board, commissioners, who was on the board 25 years ago. And my position would have been to phase them out. When the commissioner leave, if your project leave with you.
They continue to fund them year after year.
Yeah. Cause some will get upset, you know, or call back and say, you know, I still want this project funded and, it was funded. So when I looked at the list, I'm like, my goodness, you know. It's one of the positions I made, the project that I'm funding now, the nonprofits, when I leave in 2030, that's it. They'll vote it the next year because I'm still in office come that October. Okay, for 2930. Yes, but after then, whoever takes my seat, they come up with their own program. And I think that would have been the best way to do it, but they didn't see it, but hopefully I have the opportunity to bring it back, again, before I leave office, because I think that would be the best, that it goes out with the commissioner, that's the sitting commissioner. Any other questions on that? This one I want to talk about, because still today is regarding our healthcare, our indigent healthcare program that's been around since 1991. And every time all of us buy something sales tax, 0.5% funds the county's healthcare plan. And today, there's no one in Hillsborough County should be walking around here without healthcare, if you low or moderate. Because you qualify for the program. And everywhere I go, I hear people, I didn't know about it. We have talked about it, we've had it in the Florida Sentinel, we had it in Tampa Tribune, we had it in St. Pete Times, it's all over, been on Facebook. Everywhere we can talk about it, even the years that I was working, we pushed that program. And even today, if you go to Tampa General Hospital, emergency room, Baycare, they're gonna automatically enroll you into a healthcare plan if you low or moderate income. Automatically. Hopefully, you would stay. We just implemented something 2 weeks ago. For those who are incarcerated, that they can benefit from this program because we're already serving them in the jails now. So when they walk out, we have a case manager there to help them and say, hey, stay with your meds, you automatically will be enrolled in the program and all. Because healthcare is part of our economy. Whether we want to admit it or look at it or not, it is. If you're healthy, you up, you're working, what have you. Okay, it's a part of the economy. I always would say that. So if you know of someone that does not have health insurance, have them call 272-5040. I only remember the numbers when I was working. I don't ask me any other numbers. I probably don't. No, those two.
Well, we not gonna do it without.
No, not the mic.
Being in the social work field, working with families, I often make sure that they sign up for it. But do we have, and I know Mr. Young's here, a partnership with the district and the nurses for students that don't have it, so they know that they have a way to sign them up on?
If they're 18, if they're 18, no, I think it's 21.
It's 21.
Yeah. The 18, they pile up on the Florida here. Yeah.
I know there are many times where families don't have it, and even if we could, like with the community school, we try to talk about that holistic family health. So if we have it, where the nurses have the information too, for a parent, and then it begins to trickle down. And then I know for some, when I was working with the young girls out at in Tech City, after they had their baby, their healthcare dropped off. So again, I think it's just.
But the child should go.
The child, but the parent.
But it depends on the age. But if they're high school.
Yeah, well, but some of them are 18.
But they should still be under the Florida program.
Well, I think if we just find a way, and I don't know that connection, but there are 18-year-olds in school or whatever to make sure, or just getting the parent that information after school. A lot of times with that child, there are some children, parents who don't have insurance, just educating your child can get this or you can get this. So I don't know what.
I thought we put this in the air. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. In fact, we just left the Tribune Board meeting together. Just make a note. Any other questions on the healthcare? Because keep in mind, we fund the program. Every time we buy something, whether it's a bag of potato chips, chewing gum, every time they charge you sales tax, you have fun in the program. And we thank you. because it serves all the people here in Hillsborough County that qualify for the program. So we talked briefly about the affordable housing. But one of the things that's new that our charter review board is talking about now is the 9 single member district. I went to the meeting, oh, don't be shocked.
Go ahead.
So I went to the meeting Tuesday night and it was an eye opener because it was 3 commissioners there. And I tell you, sometimes I just wonder how we filibuster. But I guess if you're good at it, you can do that. Some of us are not. But anyway, that's one of the things they look at putting on the ballot next year. Going from a 7-member board of county commissioner to 2. To 9. The state is talking about it. Believe it or not, this year, they did not even want to talk about it when I was up in Tallahassee, when I asked several, was gonna be a part of their agenda. And they said no. And they did not make it a part of their agenda. Oftentimes when whichever party's in charge, we're always getting this threatening what we want to do. And this is what I heard Tuesday night, is the threatening. If Hillsborough County doesn't make it happen, well, our friends up in Tallahassee can make it happen, whatever, And I'm like, what's wrong with saying? Because if you're not, as an elected official, accountable to your district, are you running countywide? You're not gonna be accountable if it's not. 2 more is not gonna, sure, the county is growing, but we spend all the time out in the community trying to get elected. But once we get elected, do we stay out in the community where the community knows us? Are we going back into the community to share and talk about how can I help you as an elected official in Hillsborough County? I hold town hall meetings. I know just about everybody in my district, all over the county. Been doing that since I've been in office. I take government to the people. The whole team is about 25. I think it's about 6 departments that goes with me. And I'm not talking about staff who cannot answer questions, because I would take staff who can't answer questions. Town hall meeting, you should be able to answer the question the night we have the meeting.
Amen.
Okay, and if we cannot, you got 72 hours to get back to that mistake.
That's what I like.
So that's how I roll. Everybody don't roll like me. Okay, if you call my office and need something, staff, they have 72 hours to respond.
And they just have to understand.
I mean, when people call, let's be honest, they think they're supposed to bump the list. I've been on the other side. No. I know what a call like coming from commissioner. That means you stop everything you're doing to take care of that commissioner call. That doesn't happen with me. I live that. Get ready to go to lunch, you get that call from the commissioner, now you can't go to lunch. Then you gotta stop to take care of it. No. That's moving up everyone else. That person who just called, that is not fair. And that's how I see it. That's how my office see it. That's what I told my colleagues, we're not gonna do that. Everybody gets 72 hours, you call on Monday, whenever 72 hours up, we look at the staff to respond back. And we respond back and we get back with them. Now, you might not like the answer. Okay, then now you want to speak to the commissioner. Okay, because you don't like the answer. Well, the commissioners, we don't get into day-to-day operating. We set policies and procedures. That's our role. And some folks get mad and I have to tell them my role. No, I don't. That's Bonnie Wise's team. That's her staff. And we just have to live with it and move on. Because they think commissioners, should change certain things. I don't get into that. That is just not my role and I respect my role. No. Oh, I thought you had a question. So, 9 members, just imagine. 9 members. Sometimes we can't even agree with 7. No, really.
And not single member.
Single.
Member districts.
Because it's in the county, the growth, what we're projecting by 2030. So I tell people all the time, once you come here and have a vacation, and you figure a way how to move back to there. It's simple. you know, the sunshine, beaches and all that good stuff. They say, you know, I talked with a guy in my office, yesterday. Same thing, came here for vacation, he and his girlfriend, okay? They've been here 20 years now. Started out on the beach. Sunshine, I said, where else can you go and get nice weather almost 11 months out of the year? Y'all know we don't have a winter. We call it a winter month, but how many coats we really put on? And we know Christmas Day is 9 degrees. And the kids trying to go. Think about it. So I'm just saying, and this is why people keep moving here. I mean, really, just the growth. South County. In a new school, more than we just built, the school district. And getting ready to build another one right next door to that. Because they have the land. And that's where all the growth is right now in South County area. Yeah, why mama? You know, back in the day, it was like, where is that? That's like everybody moving to the Wamama area. You know, they think much cheaper, whatever that, I don't know, I haven't been down there in quite a while. But I'm saying that, but that's still a part of Pittsburgh County. So when we're thinking about growth, okay, how do you split up the 9 districts? They'll figure it out. But we as a commission is gonna draw a maps. Yeah, and I told them Tuesday night, I'm gonna make sure that's a Black person in the seat.
And when is it? Did they already vote this in? When is
It's coming before us, November next year, the general election. That's if they agree.
I mean, because right now, if you need some help, at least you have some at-large people that can, you know, countywide people that might be able to get on board with you. But if you have 9 people and all they're really concerned about is their individual districts. Boy, that's gonna be hard to do a consensus.
Well, you only get a chance to vote for one person. And in countywide, you can vote for 3.
And that's why I'm saying, in countywide, those 3, because they countywide, they don't wanna, they wanna get reelected, so they really gonna talk about individual districts. But if you got 9 single member districts, there's the alliance gonna come.
The voters gonna make that decision. And I don't think the voters gonna go along with it. I really don't think so. I'll give my position.
Yes.
So are they looking to create the map, identify where they want the new seats to be before they put it on the ballot, or? I heard that they were.
No, we gotta do the maps and it's gonna go to the voters.
Oh,
So you had a chance to see it.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's.
But you have to see where it's gonna be. Yeah. Yeah. So they made that real clear the other night, because that was one of my questions, who's gonna draw the maps? What's gonna be the charter review board, it's gonna be the commissioners. It's gonna be the commissioners, because that's our role.
So we
They're
have
just
to
bringing
ensure
it-
that, well, you're not saying this, but we have to ensure that 2 of those seats are gone, because then if they go back and the majority is still there.
Let me say this, in all fairness. We, as a race of African American people, if we don't get out and vote. Okay, right now, Republicans are leading us. I wanna say about 12,000 more registered voters than Democrats. Okay, and when you just look at the election we just had 2 days ago, only 12%.
Yes.
Out of 44,000 or 45,000. We can't lose interest. Okay, then we can't be mad. Okay,
Exactly. And be proud that I didn't vote. I don't never vote.
Yeah.
Like, be
but
proud
it
of
still affects all of them.
Commissioner,
Okay, yes.
I think that there is an opportunity for us to begin to have healthy discussions in our community, starting like this, about root cause versus symptom. Now, root cause versus symptoms, you know, so we see election day and people don't come out. And that's a symptom of the problem, right? And I think as a community, we have some opportunity to really begin to have a different discussion as to why they're not coming out. And I think that that's where we just find value into how we begin to engage community and really begin to message or encourage people to take advantage of that opportunity.
One of the things, and that will work, we have to figure out why we're attacking each other. Why do we attack each other? Okay, now I can say this, I'm an elected official, and when I went in office, I knew I'm not gonna be in a favorable role for everyone, okay? But I tried to do my best to serve my district. Okay, and that's all you can do. But the hate amongst us as Black people is ridiculous. And the other part to that, because I've been talking with a group of folks. The majority rules. If your vote in a group setting doesn't pan out, that doesn't mean you get mad and want to retire in the group. It just didn't happen. Okay, but you gotta get behind what the organization wanna do. And the same as I said about our community. I'm getting ready to call I'm just waiting on this the election with the city. To meet to find out, why can't we come together? We don't hear this with the white people. No offense to you, my brother, okay? We don't hear this. If they disagree, they do not attack each other. They do not attack each other. We take to Facebook and everything else to try to break someone down because they did not agree with us. And all it does is divide us, continue to divide us. And as an elected official, I'm tired of it.
And I think.
How could we get another Black elected? Just because you didn't like them back in the day, they probably weren't thinking about running for the office back in the day. And you're still holding that grudge now that we're going and wanna help our community. When are we gonna let stuff go to come together as a community and fight for some things that we want? You know?
Come on, Madam Chapman, preach.
No, we don't fight for what we want. You know, I could teach when it was a school district for the teachers to get the raise last year against my fellow Republicans. All of my friends, majority of my friends, school teachers. Florida, we're behind in paying. Why not increase? Okay, their pay. There's nothing wrong with what Van put up. But it was a big in our boardroom. So I put legislation together last year, and we talked about it today. I'm putting it back up to Tallahassee. Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners should not get involved with elected officials over at the school board. They have their own elected official. Let them make the decision what is best for the school district, not the county commission. That's where it stands today. And that's what I said to Tallahassee. Let them, they're elected just like I am. And they don't have a voice when it comes to what you go on the ballot. It's the Board of County Commission. No, we need to change that. They're elected officials, let them make the decision. And it almost, ours almost didn't pass. The school board for the raises passed with a flying color. We're trying to get the CIT tax passed, community investment tax passed, which barely passed. Because everybody was mad with the Board of County Commission. And that's all for all of our infrastructure projects, CIT tax. It barely passed, okay? Who's the largest employer here in Hillsborough? The school district. So you know we're gonna pass, who's not gonna vote for a raise for themselves if you're in the school district? So I'm just saying, how will we think? You know, you got some of us coming and say, no, they don't need the raise, come on. Everybody want a raise to go to work, including me. Okay? Cause my position is supposed to be part-time, but the way I work is full-time. But I'm just saying, just because you're elected official, you're just as human as the next person. It doesn't mean you're not and you don't understand. But only thing I'm saying to us, we as a race of people need to get our act together and figure out how we gonna get more blacks. Look at St. Pete. They have two. Hillsborough County is larger than St. Pete. Black mayor. Okay. So we have someone who run, we find every excuse why they should not. And I find every excuse why they should. Same as they talked about President Obama. Same thing. You don't know, you're too young, whatever. But you gotta believe. You gotta believe. I tell everybody, if that's what you wanna do, you wanna run, don't let nobody tell you you shouldn't run. It's the same with me as a candidate. I didn't go to certain people here in Hillsborough County to ask, should I run for District 3? I didn't do that. Okay? There's nothing to kiss. Okay? And when I heard that from a pastor at a church one Sunday this year, he's new to Tampa, and he said the same thing. Every time he tried to get involved, there's certain ones call and say, what you doing? And he says, I don't have to do that. And I agree with him.
100%.
You know, if you have the support, I lost my husband this year. I had the support of my husband, my mother, and my 5 sisters. Because you can always depend on your family to help you. And if your family tell you they're not gonna help you, then maybe you might not. You're wrong. But if I can. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Because you don't count on that family to be there to help you. And I can say that from my 4 sisters. Even my mother was calling people for me. I think my mother's like 95. Mama, you people get on the phone and call your friends. Okay? But I'm just saying, that is so important. When you have that blessing, that's when you step forward. You don't need the leadership here. You don't need them. It's okay to come ask them what your thoughts, but not if you want to run. That's a decision you have to make. And then if you believe in the Almighty, you gotta pray to Him. I'm just keeping it real. They don't like me to talk about it as a negative picture, but I do, yes. Hold on, okay, go
I think
ahead.
you got a question right here.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, thank you for that. My question was to piggyback on what this budget stated. We're missing a whole group of people, Black people, young people, not voting. Not interested in voting, don't believe in the process, don't think that it makes a difference. I've been seeing from time to time some barbershop talks and beauty park. I think we need to reach them. Maybe this is something you could help with, the Black Caucus could help with. But when we look at the numbers, like you stated, of new Republicans, I guess, outnumbering. Well, really, if we can get our young people engaged in voting, it could, if not, it could make a big difference. If not, turn it, the numbers the other way, because they're there, they're just not registered and they're not voting. They were missing a huge segment of people that should be engaged, but for whatever reason, they're not engaged.
Can I say something in reference to that? Just out of curiosity, it's more of a question than an actual statement. I heard this gentleman over here say something about something versus a root cause, right? So my question is why are they not engaged?
Right.
And then you have to go from a history perspective of what got us engaged in the beginning and what it is that we were trying to achieve. And these young people don't have that they don't have the experience, the knowledge of something and the experience of something is completely different. When I hear a young Black person say they never thought slavery was real, or they thought it was fictitious and made up, and that it never happened, if they don't have the inspiration to engage in a process that got us out of a situation that we came through. So the question that I have is, what is it that you
have that mindset that slavery isn't real? Somebody taught them that.
Exactly, so
Okay.
So when you talk about strategy, and I don't mean to get into it, but you asked a question and I'm sitting over here listening. So again, it goes to symptom versus root cause of why they're not participating.
Okay, then I'm coming in.
I'll let the,
Go ahead.
Ms. Nice, Nice.
So I want to add a little bit of perspective, as a young person. So two things, I'll say two things. One, from my own experience, just as I've been running, a lot of the sentiments have been, she doesn't have experience and she doesn't know what she's doing. And so as a society, we shut young people out very quickly. And we are shut down very quickly. And working with young people, elementary, middle, high school, they have so many thoughts and ideas and perspective that we completely shut out because of experience and age. And so when we're talking about being involved in the process, you've already shut me out. You told me to go to school, you told me to do community service, you told me to read, you told me to listen to elders, you told me to speak to people in the community. I've done all of that. I went to school, I did everything you said, I came back, I say I'm ready, and they say, it's not your time yet. You don't have the experience yet. And so why in the world would we expect young people who have done everything that we have been asked to do? We come to the forefront and we're ready, and immediately we are told, no, it is not your time. When the building is in flames, then you can go. And that's unfair. Because now we get into the seat when the building is in flames, and now all the bricks are on us because you couldn't fix it. That's unfair. You cannot give somebody and tell them to do all of these things, to go here, do this. We're thousands of dollars in debt. Go do all these things. Be a lawyer. Go back to your community. Help the community. Help the community. Oh no, I can't hire you yet. You don't know what you're doing.
Young generations of that same thing. We can't, when I was in my 20s and 30s, it happened to us too. So you're gonna have to fight just like we had to fight.
But it's
I think we're close in age. I think we're close in age. Yes, that's definitely my reality. And I'm encouraging that. I've gone to school with many people that are coming on. So, we have a difference of perspective, but I think, and I'm an educator, right? And I won't say that my worldview is the view. I agree, right? Because right now, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree.
I'm not saying I don't agree with what she said. What I am saying is, she said, why do it? We had to fight through those same obstacles, and we had to keep fighting. So you create your own thing, you find a way to do what you want to do.
Wait, let us stop.
I do want to vote. Because
One conversation at a time, everyone.
I hear you, and I understand that point.
She earned her spot.
So,
She's gonna be good on.
so the purpose so the purpose of your community and your parents pouring into you. Your parents always say, I'm sitting you down and I'm talking to you like this, so you don't have to go through the same thing that I did. We sit down, right, and we tell our kids, I'm telling you this because I went through it. I don't want you to go through the same thing. So you want me to go through the same thing?
Right.
You want me to have to fight my way all the way to the top so that I can now make sure that I'm the one that has to put out the burning building? You want me to?
No, what I want you to do is find a way to overcome whatever obstacles that come in your way. That's what I want.
So
you to do.
I can support her.
And she did get support, she in the runoff. So
Absolutely.
everybody did not.
Let's keep focused though. The reason why Ms. Young gave that response, because someone asked a specific question about young people not being involved. So if we go down the wrong rabbit hole, we don't appreciate her response. Her response is saying there's a culture out here that is keeping young people from remaining engaged, because the first step they take saying, I'm ready to help, I'm ready to support, people are saying, wait a minute, you go sit over there, we're not ready for your ideas yet. Now, that may not be everyone's story here, maybe that's not what you're gonna say to Ms. Young, but if I do understand what you're saying, Lydia, you're saying, but it's not a new thing, so I'm glad that you got grit. Apparently she got enough grit because she made it to the runoff, so people celebrate right here. But as we move forward, I'm gonna challenge everybody in the room. When was the last time you tried to educate or pull someone in younger than you in the political game? When was the last time? I know some people say, but there, when was the last time? Because we know how to debate in these circles. I want to turn it over to Robert, but if you are not mentoring at least one person, your child, your grand, I'm not talking about bringing them to a meeting. If you're not mentoring them, you're not pouring into them, they're not going to be able to take the large bites sometimes required to understand the political landscape. So we have to get personal with this moving forward. And the last thing I want to say, the other people that we're competing against, they're not taking their people through this. This is specifically a question for this room. Other people are not taking they're not making them be baptized by fire. They are handpicking them and they said, let me show you how to do it. Now we got to do the same thing. The mission is very key.
Okay, a couple comments. There is no baton. Your baton is your word. I didn't ask permission. My work spoke for myself. I don't call you Maya so bad. Naya is that's an example of how she's gonna be on council. And you're gonna win. But we have to give an opportunity. When she was running initially, before she made it to the runoff, I heard so many different times, she has to be groomed, she has to be this, she has to be that. And I stood 10 toes down. No, she don't. Because if she can read, understand, and she has the servant heart of the community, that's what's important to me. Everything else is gonna fall in place. Third thing is that in the community, we have to stop fighting for the one black seat. We have to have courage to run for different seats, right? Once upon a time, run for a black seat was safe because they were all black people, right? But if you have 10 people running for the same seat, you know, it's crazy. But we have to be brave enough to go out. I ran citywide last time, intentionally. Intentionally, because I wanted to prove, for one, that I can win outside of the black seat. If I had a little more time, I would have beat him, right? Last thing is, in regards to all the bickering and fighting and so forth, you shouldn't have enemies. You should respect the seat. I didn't support Gwen Henderson when she ran. But I respect that, and I didn't say anything negative about it, because again, if you're working and supporting somebody else, you're giving a whole lot of fuel to somebody else instead of talking about your candidate, right? But I respect that seat, and that's why when she got in there, we were cool because I respect the seat. She knew I didn't support her, but I respect that seat, and we started thinking in those terms, respecting the seat. We'll go much further.
Robin, I tried to keep my peace as my daughter was running for seat. She's been groomed all of her life. Her core is what you're seeing now. This isn't a Johnny come lately, I just want to get up and serve. Her grandmother has groomed all of this family. It may not be in your space. She has been a matriarch, and we've had patriarchs, one who left too early, who has had a direct impact on this family. Now, from the outward looking in, we had this person called Richard Pride. Pride was intentional with what he did with us. He groomed us. When I came back home to Lower Middleton, Jetty B. Wiles was clear about his role in my development. right? So I just put that out there because there's this notion that we don't have this thing going on. So when I say root cause, we have examples of excellence. It's just overcome by the noise. So when I say there's opportunity for root cause analysis, there are examples of what we can do well, but we have to do it before it's voting time. We have to figure out why. As an educator, I see the young folks. I send something out to a lot of communities. There's different language. My wife and I have different love languages. Right. It doesn't mean that we don't communicate. We just got to figure it out, right? And different generations have different generational languages. And I'll close with this. Harry Belafonte said, it's his generation who dropped the baton. Yeah. And we have to go back and fix some things. So we can't point the finger at the children, at the young folks, because we're responsible as the adults to ensure. And my mother made sure that that happened in our small circle. We can't speak for everybody in the community, but we can speak for what she did with us and those other few martyrs that I shared.
And one thing in regards to what you said, in regards to children, we have to stop worrying about these young people. Right? Because they're gonna come when somebody speaks their language. They're gonna come. We have so many people that have registered to vote that's older, that understand slavery, and they don't vote. Amen. Right? So don't put it bad on the kids if they're saying the same thing, but the older people already have experienced the downfall and they don't vote. So putting all the pressure on the young people to come out and vote, they're gonna vote, right? When they feel somebody speaks their language, they're gonna vote. They're gonna vote. We need to get the other ones to vote.
Hold on 1 second. Just a little tidbit on that, and I there's a little bit of everything that I agree with. But I think it's up to, if we're serious about this, then we need to figure out what their language is and meet them where they are.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
it's by any means necessary. If it's door knocking, then that's what we need to do. You know, if it's meeting them at the park, if it's going to the barbecue joint, the barber shop, you know, the hair salon, that's what we need to do. Exactly, if it's social media, if
100%.
I was off of social media for 6 years and I was determined to stay off of it, right? After I medically retired from the military. I'm back on that, right? You see my face all, why? Because by any means necessary, you know? We have to believe, but put in the work.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever the work is, we need to figure it out and get it done and quit talking about the, you know? Okay.
Lively discussion.
But, good discussion. We have 2 seats, well, 4 was up next year. 4 commissioners up next year. Harry Corning, District 2, countywide, Josh, Wasto, and Kevin, and myself, 4 seats. Okay? We don't wanna run countywide. We don't wanna get behind one to be supported. And it takes an effort, a strong effort, okay? People already coming to me trying to tell me my next move, okay? And I'm telling them my next move because I know my next move. It is HOME. Got it? That's my next move. Okay, now if the Lord speaks to me like he did in this position I have now, I will listen to him. Because that's how I became a commissioner. Only through the grace of God. I'm a commissioner today. Because I worked there for 25 years. And when I tell you during my tenure, the craziest people I ever was employed as an employee for was the Board of County Commission. I'm serious. They would be this close to me and would not speak. And I work for them. Right in the restaurant, and would not say hello. So you know, I've been through that too, and I don't take my employees through that today, because I've experienced it. And we all talk about it, because we've been there, those of us who've been there a long time. We know. We know what the boardroom is like to be intimidated by a commissioner. It's so fun. You're there to serve the public. You're there to get a paycheck and to take care of your family and to go back home. You don't come to work to be cussed out. to the abuse. And I tell my two aides, whoever call my office, and they wanna curse you out, you just put that receiver down. Put the phone down. You don't come to work for that. And I tell employees the same thing. We don't come to work for that. We come to give service.
Amen.
That's all we coming in there for, give service. And I tell folks all the time, you don't have to holler at us. Only two people can holler at me. Those two brought me in the world. Everybody else? I'm not even gonna waste my time. It's about respect. It's about respect. And if you don't demand that respect, they're gonna always feel they can say whatever they want to say in front of you and to you. And you have to know how to shut it down.
Commissioner, I think this may be the last question.
Okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the stupidest question you're gonna hear tonight.
No, you have the most important question. Go ahead. What question, stupid?
So if we go for the 9 countywide commissioners, right, so Miami,
Single district.
single district, right, so Miami, Broward and Orange County, I don't know about Palm Beach, but they have a county mayor. So would we be voting for that county mayor, and would that be 10 people that are representing us, or?
No. No, not just only the elected officials that would run for the candidates that would run for the single member district. That had something to do with the county administrator. And I would never vote for a county administrator. Never. Not as long as I'm sitting in my seat. I'm not giving up my power. I'm just being honest. No, because it's, think about it. Look at the city of Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Our city council, the mayor, who has all the power?
Strong mayor.
The mayor. Not that you're taking anything away, but they can't make that decision like the mayor. The mayor makes all the calls. Okay, it might give her a hard time. But the bottom line, James stands for everything over at City Hall. They can vote, okay? It's okay, but I'm just saying that's the difference. And they tried it in the county, and it just, no. And every time they think they wanna bring it up, it's quietly shut down. I've already been asked about it, as soon as I got on the board, I said, no, I'm not gonna support that. It was asked, the Charter Review Board, one of the commissioners sent in a proposal about having a fire chief report to the board. We have a county administrator. Stay in your role. You don't need 2 people when it's hurricane. Who's gonna give us a conflict then? Right now, it's only 1. Hillsborough County government is responsible when it's a hurricane, not the city of Tampa. It's Hillsborough County government. No. Some people think it's the city of Tampa. No, Hillsborough County. We all meet out of the emergency office and whatever Bonnie, Chad, the mayor, whatever it's called, that's it. But it's Bonnie Wise who needs to step. But these things that we need to know. Okay, so when we're talking about a 9-seat single member, you only gonna vote for 1 person, if that passes. Okay, we'll begin to hear more about it next year. We just waiting on the Charter Review Board to finish up. But that's one of the hardest things that they're gonna be talking about.
So do you agree with it? Do you agree with adding it on? Adding to?
You'll know when they send it to me.
Oh, okay.
I gotta look at all the time.
I hope I heard some, right, if anyone wants to meet with me or see me, I can give you
my card, and I'll be happy to thank you. Now they see if I get up to the table today.
Oh,
like,
okay, sorry about that.
No,
no, but that's
I
what.
wanna thank the commissioner, because that was real. Now, we have to remember that we don't live on an island. The competition, the enemy is strong. Okay, they spent $300 million on social media, to say that Kamala was for trans people, and Trump was for you. Okay, so this social media thing has changed the whole landscape, and the young people are so confused. They're telling them that both parties are the same. All right, they're now registering, when they do register as independents, because they can't tell one party from the other. And this thing that, the assassination that happened today is only gonna make it worse. Because they're trying to put people in different camps. This guy that was killed, his whole mission was to make young people conservatives. Okay, he has 5 million followers on X. And something tells me that they knocked him off and there'll be somebody in his place tomorrow, okay? He has built a fortress. They say he has 6 buildings, dedicated to this. And he's been to over 100 college campuses across the country. There were 3,000 people there to listen to his hate speech. All right? So these kids are being programmed. We have to be real. It's not just that they don't care or they don't want to be involved, they're confused with everything that's right in the palm of their hand, all right? The phone is on all the time. The Fox News is pumping it out 24/7. So we have to remember that this is a fight between good versus evil. I want you to know that the Democratic Black Caucus will give community service hours if they want to come and phone bank for us. They can pre-register with the supervisor of elections at 16 years old. When you see a young person like this in the room, call them, hello, future voter. That's what they are. They're our future, right? And we want to empower them every single opportunity that we get. They're our future. Talk to them right now. I don't care how young they are, 4 years, 5-year-old. Hello, future voter. Get them in the process of, in the mindset that, hey, I'm gonna have a responsibility to register and vote. And tell them who to vote for. Some kids don't have parents who are politically aware. Or they're too busy doing life, okay? We know we're here to educate voters. That's our main concern. If we educate the voter, we tell them when to vote, how to vote, who to vote for. If they're Black, they are the heart and soul of our party. Black people are heart and soul of this party because they're on the right side of every issue and they want to vote the right way. We have to.
I need to get to another event.
Okay. Commissioner had to leave. We are so happy that she made time to get ready. Well, we have a candidate in the room. I'd like to give her a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for the lady that won the runoff.
I have 3 minutes.
Well, one, thank you, Commissioner Myers, for, I didn't have my notebook with me today, but I'm always, taking notes. Part of being a good leader is being able to be a good listener and understand that you're always learning. So I appreciate you coming and just like sharing that information with us. I never believed that I wasn't going to make the runoff.
Oh, man.
I always knew that I was gonna make the runoff. It was more so, wow, I really got people that believe in me. Respectfully, I'm not asking for this position anymore. I am experienced. I am ready. I've been, as we say, groomed to do this work. This is just a part of who I am. This is at my core. This is what I do. But I was saying back there earlier, you work in community all your life. You go to school. You volunteer. You give back. You do all the things. We do all the things because we want to come back and serve our communities. And we get back and we are told that we are not ready, that we don't have the experience, that we can't do it. But respectfully, I'm not asking anymore. I'm in the runoff. I made it. Despite a lot of what was being said, my husband, my husband, because I've also seen a lot of things online, that my husband told me to stop reading and now I'm not doing it anymore. But my husband, because I'm not a girl, I am a grown woman.
Come on here.
Amen.
I am a grown woman. And I've done what I'm supposed to do. We tell our young people to go we tell our young people to go get your education, serve, and then come back and serve. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here to do. My core is people and community and serving. That's what I'm gonna do. So, October 23rd to 26th is early voting. October 28th is election day. I know we got out and we voted. We did okay, but it's not enough. There's over 40,000 registered voters in District 5. Now, we did a lot more than in 2023, which is good, but that's not enough. There's over 40,000 registered voters in District 5. 40,000. If you went out and voted the first time, you need to go out and vote the second time and bring 2 or 3 people with you. Bring them with you so that they can vote. People don't understand the importance of your local elections. We just think it's the presidency. No. You're worried about things that are happening in your community right now. It's the people that you elect in those seats. They are the ones that are making the decisions for you. So we can't just throw it off to the wayside like it's nothing. So if you want somebody that is people-oriented, that cares about people, I'm not beholden to anybody but my family and community. Because Lord knows if I did something that was not community-oriented, somebody's gonna find a way to get a message to me and say, what are you doing? That is not how you were raised, how you were brought up. That's not what was taught to you. I care about people. I'm tired of I don't want to see people homeless on the street. I don't want to see kids out driving down the street. Kids supposed to be in school, they out here selling waters. I'm tired of that. I live in a district and I can't even afford a home. I have experience and I live the experience. So if what I'm saying to you, it's like, you know what? I can relate to her. She is for the people. Then I can hope that I have your vote. Talk to 2 or 3 people and tell them this is who you need to vote for. Because I'm for the people. I want to do right by people, by communities. That's why I'm here. So thank you. Was that 3 minutes? It's 40 minutes. Hello, everyone. My name is Naya. I hope I have your vote. Early voting is October 23rd to 26th. Election day is October 28th.
Naya, what's your platform?
My platform, youth empowerment, strong neighborhoods, smart growth, which is housing and transportation, economic development. That's my platform, right? But at the end of the day, you are a public servant. You work for people. So youth empowerment or youth opportunities may be what is needed in East Tampa and Sulphur Springs, but maybe Channel Side doesn't want that. But that comes from you talking to people and listening to them to hear what their needs are. At the end of the day, I want to do my best to make sure that the needs of people in District 5 are addressed. Thank you.
Okay.
I know, man.
Are y'all excited after that? Yeah. If you want to get this young lady elected, we're gonna be calling Black voters. That is the 3rd Saturday of every month. All right, you got to get the vote out, and as Ms. Gianni said, by any means necessary. It's up to us. She is in the fight of her life, okay? This is a very formidable opponent. He's been elected twice to the county commission and to the city council. Okay, so he has a following. He's a minister, a Baptist minister in the church. Not bad, but he is the minister in the South, and you know how people feel about the ministers. All right, so they are following him.
One conversation, everybody. Right now, we have a person at the podium speaking. Let's honor that.
Anyway, so we're gonna have to work, this is going to be a hard fought race, no doubt about it, all right? It's gonna take door knocking, it's gonna take phone banking to get out the vote. One of the hardest things to do is a special election when you have a random day in October and you want people to come out. It's hard enough to get them out during the midterms and the presidential. All right, we had 90 million people that stayed home during the presidential. All right, so this is a heavy lift because the people are busy trying to pay the rent, trying to make the bills, trying to get the kids to school. And they, believe me, they're stopping those vote by mails as many as they can because they know people are busy doing life. All right, so we got to fight all those things to get the voters out. And plus the social media and Fox News and all of that, all right? They're zoning out. At this point, the president is throwing so much to the people that they're almost ready to turn off the news. But we have to say, as Naya just said, your community is important. The last meeting we had, there was standing room only, so we know there's some people out there that care about their community. So we just have to bring their attention to this race. It's going to be hard. You can ask some of the people who've done phone banking and door knocking, and they'll tell you that a lot of people they talk to don't know there's an election going on. Only 20% of the people come out for the mayor's race. Okay, so we know we got our work. So you're saying not even 20%, not even 20%, 15% came out for the last, well, she wasn't really contested, she wasn't really contested. But we're gonna have a contested mayoral race next time. We'll have some more people coming out. I wanna thank the people online for joining us. If you are not a member of the Hillsborough County Democratic Black Caucus, we wanted to invite you to join this evening. Raise your hand, Rhonda. She can help you. Yes, she will help you. It's $30 for seniors, it's $60 for adults. And it's also $30 for students. And we are inviting all students to join the Democratic Black Caucus, okay? We wanna raise them right, like you just said, let's raise them right. Thank you all so much for coming. Do we have something else?
Yeah.
What do we have?
One quick thing. So, just for the people online, as well as everyone here, we need to do a fundraiser as a Democratic Black Caucus. All right, in order for us to really penetrate or change the numbers as it relates to people coming out or people being informed, we have to, as a Black Caucus and as an entity, do voter education. Right now, what you're looking at, and I have my notes here, it shows that there were less than 10% people showed up for this election, right? 10%, what, how long?
It's 12%.
Was it 12, okay, so I'll correct it, 12%, right? So we can do the math on who's missing, right? But understand, of those people who showed up, of that 12%, that came from a campaign going out door knocking and saying, vote for me. That is not our community being plugged in. That is not our community being informed. And so we cannot, as a people, rely on someone's campaigns to educate the masses. The reason why there was a march on Washington in the first place was to show a visual demonstration of how many Black people were united and could impact the polls one day when it was time for the next election. We have to figure out how to motivate our people as a community before the election so that they can go informed in who they're voting for, not because someone knocked on their door. However, to the campaigns that did knock on the door, great job. It was a better showing this year than it was the last time it was a special election. So we're moving in the right direction. But with the right fundraising, for the Black Caucus, I'm wrapping up, with the right fundraising for the Black Caucus, we can put money back into the community for voter education and voter involvement. People are not gonna show up at the polls if they feel like they are ignorant.
What's your answer? Did you want some volunteers?
We want you to not only become a member, but when we start talking about this next fundraiser, we need boots on the ground. All right, we need boots on the ground. So look for the newsletter coming out soon about a fundraiser, but we need you to become a member first, and then we need you to put resources back into voter education.
I stand corrected, our former state president has something to say.
Okay.
So which one you want me to talk about? This, or you want me to talk about what I wanna talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so that you guys know, I am Black first, Democrat second, but I am a Democrat and I'm a chosen Democrat. And I am coming to you now because something's going on in the Florida Democratic Party.
Okay.
And that is our chair, Nikki Freed. And I'm saying it to the camera. Is trying to open up our primary to MPAs,
And MPAs being?
non-party affiliates. People that are not registered as Democrats would now be able to come into our primary and select who our Democratic nominees are.
And some of those MPAs used to be what?
Used to be Republicans.
Okay.
We know that. Every election they show us that they're Republican leaning. They're not with us during the general. And I care less in the darn if you vote for me with me in the primary, if you ain't gonna be with me in the general. Okay? I wanna say this, and this is Lydia Hudson saying this, and I told Nikki Freed how I feel about it, so y'all that might be her followers, run and tell her. The research shows that Black people are disenfranchised by this. Now remember, she's trying to open up the Democratic primary, not the Republican primary. Just our side. So that means all of those people that can't vote, that really don't like us, could come in here and dilute the values of our party. So if you're a registered Democrat and you Black, you should be against this. And we're doing it at a time where Democrats in this state are weak in position. So I wanted to let y'all know. I already told her I'm gonna speak at every chance I get to tell everybody that I can that this is not good. Now, I'm Black first, but in addition to this not being good for Black folk, it makes our party more conservative. So that means the progressive part of our party don't want this. It makes our party more male. We're talking about women lose influence, Blacks lose influence, progressives lose influence, and senior citizens lose influence. And right now, that is the base of our party. I have people that say, well, you know, the Hispanics are a growing population and they grow in influence. My thing with that is the Democratic Hispanics that I know and that I'm working with in this initiative, they don't want the MPAs that are Hispanics voting with us. Because they say most of them are Republican leaning. They know who their community is. And if they're against this, why is our chair trying to do this? So I'm just letting y'all know, when y'all start hearing people say stuff about me that I'm disruptive and I'm the resistance. Yes, I'm the resistance. Call me whatever you want to call me. I know I'm a child of God. So that's all that matters to me. But I'm just letting y'all know we have to know what is going on in our party. So if you're a registered Democrat and you are a voting member of the state executive committee, I'm asking you to do whatever you can to oppose this. And this is Lydia talking. This is Angela, the Black. This is me. This is me.
But you don't have anything to tell us that we can do.
Well, if you are a voting member of the state executive committee, you can actually vote no on this. If you know somebody that is a member of the state executive committee, Lois, Vanessa, Rhonda, me, you can encourage them to vote no on this. And if you a great writer, contact me. We'll help you write some op-eds on this. It is just, I mean, I'm passionate because we just had a US Senate candidate that is a Democrat to announce yesterday that she was running for Senate. And she said that she's excited about independence being a part of the primary. And as a candidate, if you're running for office, that's gonna make, you have to raise two, maybe even three times as much money in the primary, because now you have to expand the people that you got to touch.
Versus people and then American.
All right, thank you. Okay, I want to know who this young lady is who joined us today. Who are you, ma'am?
And are you over 16 years of age?
Yes.
Are you pre-registered to vote?
Bring friends next time, everybody bring friends. All right, I'm so glad you came because you are going to hear what's going on with your party when you come to these meetings. And we need more of us to show up and be educated about what's going on. Remember, the cream always rises to the top, so once you start working in the party, you can go up to the different levels. You can go to Florida Blue, Leadership Blue. Leadership Blue is the big state conference every year. So we encourage our members to also go to the state conference every year. If you want to be involved, there's a place for you here. Thank you for coming.
All right. So, if you want to vote in Democratic primary, you got up to 20.